Some ideas Japan has come up with are so practical and clever that the moment you encounter them, you immediately wonder why the rest of the world hasn't done the same. Restaurant food displays so hyper-realistic that you can point at exactly what you want without speaking a word of Japanese. Gas stations where the pumps hang from above so you never have to worry about lining up your car, and currency exchange machines that convert your cash instantly without a bank, a queue, or a single form to fill in. Japan doesn't just fix problems, it fixes them so well that once you've seen the Japanese version, every other version stops feeling like a solution and starts feeling like a placeholder. Today, we're counting down 14 genius Japanese ideas that instantly fix everyday problems. Watch until the end because number 14, a full-body umbrella that keeps you completely dry from head to toe, is one of those ideas so obvious you'll wonder why nobody built it sooner. Number 1. Hyper-realistic food displays outside restaurants. Outside almost every restaurant in Japan, you'll find a display case filled with hyper-realistic plastic or wax replicas of every dish on the menu, each one crafted to look identical to what will actually arrive at your table, complete with accurate portion sizes, colors, and presentation. You don't need to read Japanese to order. You don't need to ask what a dish looks like. You walk along the display, point at what appeals to you, and you know exactly what's coming. The decision is visual, immediate, and requires no language ability whatsoever. The replicas are made by specialist craftsmen who have refined the process into a dedicated art form. Some are so accurate that distinguishing them from the real thing in a photograph requires close inspection. For tourists navigating an unfamiliar cuisine in a country with a different alphabet, the display removes every barrier between wanting food and ordering it confidently. Japan made choosing a meal as simple as pointing at a picture that actually tells the truth. Number 2. Currency exchange machines for tourists. Japan operates standalone currency exchange machines in airports, train stations, shopping centers, and tourist districts that convert foreign currency into Japanese yen instantly without a bank, a counter, a queue, or any paperwork. You insert your foreign notes, the machine identifies the currency, applies the current exchange rate, and dispenses yen within seconds. The process takes less than a minute from start to finish and is available around the clock without any staff involvement. For a country that still operates largely on cash for daily transactions, the ability to exchange currency at any hour from any location is a genuine infrastructure requirement rather than a convenience. Japan treated the currency needs of visitors as a solvable logistics problem and distributed the solution across the entire transit and retail network. Number 3. Floating gas station pumps with full service. Japanese petrol stations, known as full-service stations, position their fuel pumps on overhead gantries that hang down from a canopy above the forecourt, rather than rising from the ground level. And the difference changes the entire experience of filling up. You drive in from any direction and pull up under the canopy. The pump is already at the correct height above you. There's no maneuvering to align your fuel cap with a ground-mounted pump. A uniformed attendant approaches immediately, takes your fuel preference, fills the tank, cleans your windscreen, checks your tires if needed, and directs you safely back into traffic when you leave. You don't get out of the car, you don't touch the pump, you don't smell of fuel when you drive away. Japan designed a petrol station around the person in the car rather than around the logistics of the pump, and produced a forecourt experience so far removed from the self-service model everywhere else that it barely feels like the same activity. If you're enjoying this so far, go ahead and tap like. It tells YouTube you want more of Japan's clever, everyday innovations. And if you love discovering things you didn't even know existed, hit subscribe so you don't miss the rest of this list. Trust me, the next ones are even smarter. Number 4. Cocodesk private work pods in public. Cocodesk is a network of compact single-person work pods installed in train stations, shopping centers, and public buildings across Japan that provide a fully enclosed private workspace available by the minute, giving anyone who needs to focus, take a call, or get work done in public somewhere genuinely suitable to do it. The pod is soundproofed, climate-controlled, and equipped with a desk, a power outlet, and a USB port. You book through an app or a terminal outside the pod, the door unlocks, and for the duration of your session, you have a private office the size of a phone box in the middle of a busy transit hub. The open plan world produces no shortage of situations where you need to concentrate for 30 minutes and have absolutely nowhere appropriate to do it. A noisy cafe, a busy platform, a shared waiting area. Cocodesk solves that problem with a bookable box and a door that closes. Number 5. Slanted elevators for steep terrain. Japan's hillside cities and steep residential districts use slanted elevators, also called inclined lifts, that travel at an angle along the gradient of a slope rather than vertically, providing step-free access between street levels that would otherwise require a significant climb or descent on foot. The cabins run on a track set into the hillside at the same angle as the terrain, carrying passengers smoothly from the lower street level to the upper one in a journey that takes seconds. The system is enclosed, weatherproof, and accessible to wheelchair users, elderly residents, and anyone carrying heavy bags. In areas where the topography makes conventional elevator installation impractical and stairways are the only alternative, the inclined lift turns a daily physical challenge into a non-issue. Japan looked at the parts of its cities where the terrain itself was the problem and built infrastructure that follows the shape of the land rather than fighting it. The slope doesn't change. The effort of navigating it disappears entirely. Number 6. Umbrella dryers at building entrances. Japan installs umbrella drying solutions at building entrances that deal with a wet umbrella before it ever gets inside. And the range of approaches they've developed covers every variation of the problem. Some buildings use sleeving machines that wrap your umbrella in a sealed plastic film in seconds, containing the water completely so you carry it inside without dripping. Others install air dryer units where you insert the open umbrella and a blast of air removes the water in a few seconds, leaving it dry enough to fold and bag normally. Some use a manual rack system with absorbent tubes that pull the water off the canopy as you draw the umbrella through. Every version solves the same problem. A wet umbrella taken inside a building drips on floors, soaks through bags, and wets everything it touches. Japan decided that the entrance was the right place to deal with that, rather than managing the consequences inside. The specific mechanism varies by building. The outcome is the same everywhere. You go inside dry. Number 7. Rotary car parks that stack cars vertically. Japan's rotary car parks are automated multi-story systems that receive a vehicle at street level and store it within a rotating vertical rack structure, stacking dozens of cars in the footprint of a single standard parking space. You drive onto the ground level platform, exit the vehicle, and the system takes over. A mechanical pallet lifts the car into the rotating rack and positions it in an available slot. When you return, you present your ticket, the system locates your car, rotates it back to the ground level platform, and delivers it within minutes. The car never moves through a conventional parking structure. You never search for a space, navigate a tight ramp, or return to a car that's been blocked in. The entire process is mechanical, and the outcome is guaranteed every time. In cities where land is too valuable to dedicate significant ground area to surface parking, Japan built a system that parks dozens of cars in the space where a conventional car park would fit 3. Number 8. Phone selfie stands at scenic locations. Japan installs fixed phone selfie stands at its most photographed scenic locations, providing a mounted adjustable holder that any visitor can use to photograph themselves against the view without needing a tripod, a companion, or the awkward interaction of asking a stranger to take the picture. The stands are positioned at the exact spot that produces the best composition of the landmark or view behind it. You place your phone in the mount, adjust the angle, set your timer, step into the frame, and take the shot. The positioning has already been worked out for you. It solves one of the most consistent frustrations of solo travel. The best views and the most photographed locations are exactly the places where having no one to take your picture is most noticeable. Japan recognized that millions of visitors arrive at its scenic locations alone and want a photograph that proves they were there. It installed a mount, aimed it at the view, and removed the problem entirely. Number 9. Daiso Toilet Stamp Cleaner. The Daiso Toilet Stamp Cleaner is a gel disc that adheres to the inside of the toilet bowl and releases a small amount of cleaning and deodorizing agent with every flush, keeping the bowl clean passively between manual cleans without requiring any scrubbing, spraying, or additional products. You press the disc onto the inner surface of the bowl above the waterline. Every flush activates the gel, distributing it around the bowl and preventing the buildup of limescale, staining, and odor that accumulates between cleans. The disc lasts for several weeks before needing replacement. It's available at Daiso for a minimal cost. One disc applied once, cleaning the toilet automatically for weeks with zero additional effort from the person who installed it. Japan turned a recurring manual cleaning task into a passive one, using a product that costs almost nothing, fits in a palm, and requires no instruction beyond pressing it onto a surface. It's the kind of solution that makes the amount of effort everyone else puts into cleaning a toilet feel entirely unnecessary. Number 10. Public misting stations for summer heat. Japan installs public misting stations in busy pedestrian areas, outside train stations, along shopping streets, and at outdoor event spaces that spray an ultra-fine water mist into the surrounding air, dropping the local temperature by several degrees during the brutal heat of the Japanese summer. The mist is produced at a pressure that causes the droplets to evaporate almost instantly on contact with the air, rather than landing on skin or clothing as liquid water. The cooling effect is immediate, and the mist is fine enough that you walk through it without getting wet. Japan's summer heat is genuinely extreme. High 30s, high humidity, direct sun for hours at a time. Walking any significant distance between air-conditioned spaces is a physical challenge that no amount of light clothing fully addresses. The misting station creates a pocket of cooled air in exactly the locations where people are most exposed. Japan treated outdoor summer heat as a public comfort problem with an infrastructure solution and installed it at street level where the need actually is. Number 11. Kid-sized washrooms in public facilities. Japanese public facilities and family restaurants install child-sized washroom fixtures alongside standard adult ones, providing sinks, toilets, and hand dryers at a height that children can use independently without being lifted, assisted, or balanced on a step stool. The fixtures are properly scaled rather than simply lowered. The toilet bowl dimensions, the basin depth, and the tap reach are all proportioned for a child's body, rather than being an adult fixture positioned lower. A child can walk in, use the facilities, wash their hands, and dry them without any adult involvement in the physical process. For parents managing young children in public, the child-sized washroom removes one of the most consistently awkward logistics of a family outing. You don't hold them over the adult toilet. You don't lift them to the sink. You don't stand in a cubicle together because there's no other option. Japan built washrooms for the people who actually struggle with standard washrooms and made independent bathroom use accessible to children from the age they're ready for it. Number 12. Washing machines built for sneakers. Japan produces dedicated sneaker washing machines designed specifically for footwear, with drum interiors and wash cycles engineered around the materials, construction, and cleaning requirements of trainers rather than adapting a clothing cycle to a task it wasn't designed for. The machines include padded drum interiors that protect the shoe's structure during the cycle, temperature settings calibrated to the adhesives used in trainer construction, and spin speeds that remove water without distorting the shape of the shoe. Dedicated cleaning pods formulated for synthetic mesh, leather, and suede are available to use with the cycle. Putting trainers in a standard washing machine produces inconsistent results at best. The drum damages the shoe's shape, the temperature affects the glue, and the spin cycle does things to a pair of trainers that no amount of stuffing with newspaper fully reverses. Japan made a machine for the specific task of washing shoes and produced a result that a standard washing machine achieves only by accident. Number 13. Umbrella locks at building entrances. Japan installs umbrella lockers at the entrances of convenience stores, supermarkets, and public buildings that allow visitors to lock their umbrella securely outside rather than carrying it through the building or leaving it in an unlocked stand where it can be taken. The lockers are individual slots with a key or code lock. You slide your umbrella in, turn the key, take it with you, and your umbrella is secured for the duration of your visit. When you leave, you unlock it and take it back. Umbrella theft from communal stands is common enough everywhere that most people have experienced it. You leave a good umbrella in a stand and return to find a cheap broken one in its place, or nothing at all. Japan acknowledged that an umbrella left in an unsecured stand is an umbrella at risk and built individual locking infrastructure at the entrance of buildings where the problem consistently occurs. The umbrella you arrived with is the one you leave with. Number 14. Full-body umbrellas for complete rain protection. Japan developed a full-body umbrella that extends a clear, transparent skirt down from the edges of the canopy to approximately knee height, enclosing the person underneath in a complete protective shield that keeps not just their head and shoulders dry but their entire upper body and clothing. The canopy works as a standard umbrella. The transparent skirt attaches to the outer edge and hangs down around the person, blocking wind-driven rain from the sides, as well as rain falling from above. You stay dry in conditions where a standard umbrella keeps your head dry, while your jacket, trousers, and bag absorb everything that comes in from the sides. In Japan's typhoon season and heavy rain months, a standard umbrella is a partial solution at best. The full body version is a complete one. Japan looked at the umbrella, identified the specific problem it doesn't solve, and extended it downward until it did. The rest of the world is still arriving places with dry hair and soaking everything else. If you want to see more amazing things Japan is doing better than the rest of the world, then like and subscribe. And make sure to watch the video on your end screen. It's packed with even more genius things.